My name is Tim Tavcar. I'm missing Montpelier, but I'm surviving here in Cleveland, Ohio. Very interesting and extended story about how I came to be associated with Lost Station Theater. I went to Vermont on vacation in 1995 because a friend of mine had just gone there and came back and he said, "Oh, you have some vacation time. You should go to Vermont. It's just beautiful and it's the fall and the leaves are just trying to change and it's going to be beautiful." So I said, well, I had no plan. So what the heck? So I looked around Vermont and I looked up at Burlington and stuff. And then I saw Montpelier and I thought, ooh, that's a great name. I think I'm going to go there instead of staying in Burlington. So I flew into Burlington because you can only fly into Burlington. And I took a cab down to Montpelier from the Burlington airport and I stayed at Betsy's Bed and Breakfast. And the weekend I was there happened to be a really incredible weekend for things to do in Montpelier. First of all, and most important of all, I saw a production of A Dollhouse at Lost Nation Theater. Besides that, I can't remember what exactly it was, but it was a really wonderful foreign film with the Savoy. And then I read on one of the postings, on one of the columns outside, that Dalton Baldwin was giving master classes in art song. Now, Dalton Baldwin, for those of you who don't know, was, since he passed away relatively recently, the preeminent pianist for the art song accompanying crowd. And here he was in Montpelier, Vermont, giving a master class. And I have 50 recordings of him in my collection alone. And I thought, what the hell is going on in this city? It's so tiny, but look what it's got. Plus the fact that I had some very good food around and some of the restaurants in town. So I got home, and for some unknown reason, I decided to send a resume to Kim and Kathleen at Lost Nation Theater. They scheduled an audition for me. I went back to Vermont, did the audition. They offered me a couple of roles and I think something to direct. I'm not quite sure for the 1996 season, which I could not come to because I was in a car accident and wasn't able to come. So they foolishly decided to take a chance and asked me if I wanted to come in 1997, which I did. And I arrived in a very snowy April of 1997. Kim, God bless him, I had sent my furniture ahead and he had put it all on the porch of where I was going to live down on East State Street. And I immediately plunged into the News of the City, Talk of the Town project, which was my first show. And Kim and Kathleen put me on the research team. And I spent a lot of time at the Montpelier Historical Society going through a lot of microfiches. And I certainly got to know a lot about Montpelier and Barrie and the whole Central Vermont scene from looking at these old microfiches of old copies of the Times Argus. So we did that. That happened. That was the first show that I did that year. And then the second show was something they gave me to direct, a musical review of Stephen Sondheim's called Side by Side by Sondheim. And I had a fantastic cast for it. And we had a really good run. People seemed to like it a lot. And we won a prize when they were doing Vermont Bessies. The musical director and I shared a prize for Best Director that year. And as I said then, and as I say now, because I've now had a 22 season tenure with Lost Nation, that the reason why things are so good is because nobody works in a vacuum, and everybody at L&T has been so supportive and so creative with their own inputs on all the projects that I've worked on anyway. It's been, a true pleasure almost all of the time. That's that.